Oh, hello everyone. So I'm back doing a little bit of game development again tonight. It's been a while. Yeah, I've had a few days off from work, including the weekend and holiday, like today, July 4th, and I had yesterday off as well. So yeah, I was just really facing a lot of burnout and just needed to get away from hardcore game development for a while. Although I did do a little bit of programming over the past week. I've been working with this Godot engine, which you can get from the Steam store. I believe it's free, but it's in the software library, and you just go to... It's spelled Godot, G-O-D-O-T, but I think the correct pronunciation is Godot, according to like some old book or something. So I may need to turn this down. So yeah, I got a lot of work done on this Sky Combat game, which I developed about a year ago. Started working on it as a warm-up to the Ludum Dare game competition, but I never really did finish it, so I decided to go back and start working on this again. I did this nice little title screen. I made this object right here in Blender, this little title logo, Sky Combat. So yeah, one reason I didn't stream the development that I've been doing this week is because I'm totally new, pretty much. Aside from a little bit of that I played around with Godot last year, I'm pretty much new to it, so I really don't like streaming stuff when I don't know what I'm doing, because I really don't feel that those are useful if I don't know what I'm doing. So it takes a little while to figure things out. But yeah, it's a lot like Unity. You can make 3D games. Instead of scenes, well, you have scenes in this, but instead of game objects, you have this hierarchy here, which has nodes. So a node is kind of like a game object, and you don't have components, you just have more nodes that you can put alongside each other. So it's kind of, sometimes it can be confusing to tell which objects or which nodes go with each other, especially when you're working with collisions and rigid bodies and things like that. Because in Unity you would have a game object with a rigid body and a collider components, but those are separate nodes in Godot. So scene. So my main game screen is right here, which actually looks kind of blank. Well, actually you have these different views. You have 2D view and 3D view. So in 3D view you have my ship, but the ship is actually an instance. So you don't have prefabs in Godot, but you can have scenes, and then you can pull in instance scenes into your hierarchy over here. So that's the way you do prefab. So I have my jet here, and he's actually called player, so you can tell he's instance because it has this little director movie. I don't know what you call those little things. It was like a little thing that you snap together for the movies. So you can actually open up this scene, player, and it's just the jet by itself. So that's kind of like a prefab right here that gets pulled into the main game. So yeah, I got quite a bit working with this. I'll go ahead and run it. I'm going to try to maximize this. I guess it still runs pretty good. Oh, that's a problem right there. It doesn't scale up the UI. That's a problem. Yeah, so that's what it really is supposed to look like right there. I guess I could fix the size. I don't know, that might be something I can fix tonight. The desktop audio is very loud. I'm going to turn that down to about minus 10 decibels. I think I'm getting better at managing like sounds or sound levels both in my games and while streaming. I think negative 10 decibels is usually a good setting for like having just enough sound to notice their sound but not cover up any speech or anything. So here's my F-14 Tomcat that I kind of rendered here. It isn't the best, but I'm happy with it. And my Sidewinder missiles also rendered this in Blender. I noticed a little bit of distortion that I might need to touch up later, but it looks pretty good for right now. So I still have like these same old guys that you can shoot right here. One thing that I really need to add to this is like different enemy patterns, or because once you destroy all of these guys, it's game over, or it just says you win. So I need to have a way to like specify a level or level data enemies throughout a level. But yeah, I did get the turning of the jet working, which I think is pretty cool if you go left or right. And I kind of like limit it so you don't completely like do a barrel roll or anything. One thing that I wanted to add is particle effects. So I would add that in the jet. Let me go back to the jet instance. Open. Now you can edit the instanced scene that you pull in over here. But if you ever instance it again, it won't contain the changes. So it's better just, if you're doing something that needs to be modify this instance, then it's better just doing it right here. Okay. So I think I can add a new node. And I remember like trying to work with particle effects a long time ago when I first played around with this. So it's particles. So you can see it falling there. It's weird how it interacts with the light right there. So I'm going to move this back. And I want to, I think I want to rotate it this way. Can I do that? It looks like it's always going to fall down no matter what the rotation is. Amount 64 emitting on. So now I need like a nice flame effect. And I actually want to have it, if I can, emit more particles, have a bigger flame when I'm going forward, then kind of taper it off or reduced amount of flame coming out as you're slowing down. So I think do I need a tutorial on doing flames? I don't know. Might be able to do a simple looking flame on my own. So I'm going to do file, new. How big do these need to be? I'll do a 128 by 128. Okay. Do we have layer transparency? No, we don't. Go into can do it at the image level? No. Layer transparency, add alpha. So I kind of want to have it like in a cone, I think. Texture style. I remember like doing a tutorial a long time ago. I didn't write it. I did somebody else's tutorial on doing flames. Flame particles. I'm looking up on my DuckDuckGo search engine. Flame particles GIMP. Making fire. There we go. Blender 3. Noob to pro. Or pro to noob. I don't know if this is the type of particles I want. No, I don't need that. Flame. Here's like a flame plugin, which actually looks pretty good. So let's just try this. Filters, I think it's under render pattern. Render nature flame. Okay. That's kind of weird. Really doesn't look like a flame. But I can work with it. Can work with anything. Filters. Render. Maybe I should do clouds. Flame. Camera. I think I just need some noise, actually. Yeah, this really isn't the flame type that I'm looking for. What I think I'm going to do, filters, render, clouds. Can I just do fog? Make it, yeah, orange would be good. Maybe a little bit more reddish. Okay, see what this looks like. That's interesting. Wow. Thought she did it on a separate layer. Filters, render, clouds, fog, difference. That looks good. Come on. Am I supposed to have a white background? Filters, render, clouds. Okay. Okay, there we go. So I want to have a gradient on top that will go from red, dark red, to kind of a bright orangish color. So now we got our layer. So now I'm going to do a gradient. It's going to go from this color. No, it's going to go from that color to this color. So there's a few different ways I can do this. I could do. I'm still trying to learn all of the different modes, like addition. That's kind of a nice looking flame there. Multiply. I need to actually look up and learn what the difference between all these are. So I'll know what I'm actually doing instead of just like randomly pick. Ooh, that's a good flame. Wow. Look at that. That's hard light. I'm really impressed with that one. So I think I need to like kind of make this a little bit more rounded. So I can use my handy dandy. What happens if I delete this side? Okay, that's good. So I use my handy dandy airbrush tool and add a layer mask. Pick black. I can start airbrushing around here. I just need to make sure this doesn't have too many like hard edges. And hopefully this will turn out the way I expect. But yeah, if it has hard edges, then that will be pretty noticeable. So I think I want to take a hard eraser. Actually, I want full hardness. Oh no, I don't want to do that. Yeah, what am I doing? I need a pencil. Plus 20. Okay, that works. Because it'll become very noticeable if there are edges. I can already notice a little bit right there. Maybe airbrush this a little bit more to get some of those hard edges out. Oh, it's a little bit too much. Okay, I think this is good. I think this will do what I want it to do, hopefully. I might need to come in and make this a little bit more narrower at the end. Like airbrush this down a little bit more at an angle. I think that's a little bit too much. It needs to be more like a triangle. Okay, that's good. File, save as. And I like saving these in the same folder. Sky, combat, assets, textures, or would it be a sprite? I'm not sure if it's a texture or a sprite. So I'm gonna call this flame. Oh, I need to do explosions for the enemies too, and that's something I was working on, but it's kind of, hey, now that I know that I can do animations in Collada models, I can actually do the explosion animations. I'm gonna try to do that tonight. So flame, just save it as flame. So now I'm gonna file, export as, we'll just do a PNG. Like I said, I may need to touch this up later. I think a good test is like adding a new layer, pulling this down, and this may not come out right. Edit, fill with foreground. Yeah, that doesn't work right. But yeah, later on I'll see if I need to go in and touch up these boundaries here or not. But that might actually add a little cool effect, a little halo type effect there. Okay. I'm still disturbed that these are falling downward. And I have not read any tutorials on particle systems and Godot engine, although I've done them plenty of times in Unity, so I'm hoping it will be similar. So I'm going to do fix material, edit, then get down to the diffuse and load texture flame. Okay, so now I can see it a little bit. It needs to be a little bit brighter there. Gonna turn the emission. Yeah, that's no, I don't want that. I just need that black. Actually, I need it transparent. Shader. So I need these to be emitted backwards. And I need them billboarded too. I don't know why it isn't automatically billboarding these. Oh, billboard. On. Yay. Come on, billboard. 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 Doesn't look like it's billboarding. Looks like they're just dropping directly down. I guess I could add a light to this scene. Billboard Y. No, I don't care about casting shadows. Material override. MTL. This is a lot like the materials in Unity. Gravity. I want zero gravity. They don't need to fall. So I wonder if these automatically re-render. Yeah, there it goes. Is there any way where I can specify linear velocity? Turn that up. So now they're going all over the which way. Particles. So can I Rotate. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Yay. So they need to come out a lot slower than that. It's just like spitting them out there. Mount 64. Yeah, linear velocity needs to be a lot less. But I don't see why they're coming out the front if... Like, if it goes below 20, they start coming out the front. Oh, that's negative. There we go. 3. That's good. Look at that. But I want them to, like, fade over time. They don't need to go that far out. But, yeah, I really need to fix the... transparency. Why is it not getting the transparency? Mission? Diffuse. Edit. See, it's transparent right there. I want to see what it looks like in the game. If it just looks like a bunch of big blobs, or... That actually doesn't look too bad. They just need to... they need to die a lot faster. And I need the transparency. Material amount, that's good. Emitting. Mission extents. Oh, there's base velocity. 0. Okay. Gravity normal. Lifetime. 0.5. Oh, that looks good. That looks very good. I was gonna have it where it emits more particles as I speed up. Oh, and I need to fix my little icon over there. I didn't spend enough time getting that working. I got it where it'll actually fill up like I want, but I want it to fill up the other way. I just want it to stay static and then just fill it in. So how do I turn on... Where's my textures? Flame. See, I see the transparency here in the little preview. And is there any way to make them fade over time? Color phases. Phase 1. Phase 0. Make it red. Enter. Sometimes it's hard to get these things to accept. It's like, I just want red. Okay, enter. We just click off of it. Whoa, what did I just do? Wow, Z removes shading. Does this do anything? I don't think that does anything. Material override. New fixed material. Edit. Textures. Diffuse. Load. So it's hard to tell what's a texture and what's an image. So texture can be just an image file, which is strange. So I think we got a light that's shining downward. That's why it appears black. If you twist it sideways. If we turn up the ambient lighting, probably be able to see it. See, here's another one where it doesn't have. So yeah, I can now see it that way. Visible. Off. So I don't understand why you turned material visible off, then you still see it. Very interesting. So I don't know if I need the material geometry instant defined in both spots. Material clear. So now the material is null, but it's still spawning. So I have the material defined down here. What if I clear it here too? Okay, now it's white. Load. You would think I would have materials now. Flame. New material. You would think when I do that, it would define the material somewhere. Edit. Diffuse. Load. Textures. Flame. But it still has... See, it thinks it's transparent here, but not down here. Oh, here's opaque only. Always. Pre-pass alpha. Tune. Wrap. Velvet. Lambert. Here's discard alpha. Use alpha on. Oh, there we go. Oh, we're in business now. Oh, look at that. I like that. Oh no, why is it black there? It almost looks like it's on fire. It's been shot. Why is it black on the side? Yeah, I don't need any blackness in there. I can kind of see it right there. I need to change the background color here. Settings. Whoa. View. Settings. I thought there was a way to specify. Maybe that's in project settings. If it's in project settings, I don't want to deal with it. Color array. Discard alpha. Emission. White. Maybe make it a little bit. Ooh, look at that. That's so cool. Just a little bit of red. It's like, please save that color. See, I don't know why on the side there. Glow. Is that what I need? Glow. See, I need like a shadeless renderer for this. Maybe that's what Tune does. But I still see the black in there. I don't know what this light map is. Unshaded. That's what I need. I don't know if that's too many flames. Oh, baby, look at that. It does look like, almost look like I'm on fire. I don't know. I should watch some videos. I was watching videos of jet fighters last night as research. Those are some serious afterburners right there. And there should be two, actually. So I think I need to skinny these up a little bit. Then they kind of look like it's... I wish it would, fade over time. That does look pretty cool, though. Oh, I gotta bend my knees. That is so freaking cool. I need to do the little puffs of smoke for the missiles too. I wonder if I'm scale. No, no. In Unity, if you try to scale the particle system, it won't actually scale the particles. Don't want to rotate. I want to scale. Oh, and it's kind of tilted downward too. That's interesting. I never did get the correct rotation. Where does the rotation get specified? Whoa. That is so freaking cool. I didn't expect it to turn out that well. There's got to be a rotation property on this. Oh, here we go. Spatial. That's what I... So apparently in this like little inspector for the nodes, it puts the highest level things that it inherits at the bottom. Whereas in Unity, it has like all the transform information at the top. But apparently they go from most restrictive, lowest child or whatever, lowest inheritance all the way up to the root object. So rotation is... So I think this needs to be 180, 0, 0. That should have it perfectly. But scale, I wonder if I can skinny this up. Like 0.1? Oh no. Well, would like to have two of them. Still really doesn't look. Z 0.1. 1. What about Y? 0.1. 1. 0.01. Enter. I think the scale really doesn't play that much of a factor. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back over here. File, save, just because this looks so freaking cool. Then I'm going to do a flame 1. And then I'm going to go back into my layer here. And get my airbrush and the black color. I'm really going to narrow this up. like it's going to be a lot skinnier. I'm going to get my pencil and... Whoa! A little bit too much there. Take that out. All the way around. I could have done this with a select and delete. I think I need this softened up a little bit. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Okay, so that's skinnied up a little bit. File, save, file, export. I could just export to Flame. That way I don't have to deal with anything. Oh, look at that. That's so cool. Well, let me set this back to 1. See, now it looks kind of goofy. It's kind of spreading out too much now. Translation, so rotation, translation -2, local do. I don't want it to spread out as much. I don't know if these did anything. I don't want to receive shadows. Spatial. Because in Unity, you can actually specify like a cone or whatever form you want them to be. Want the particles to go out in. So here's an emissions extents. So if I change X to 0, will that make it? Looks like that didn't do anything. I wish there was a way to translate. Oh, there we go. Maybe not. Yeah, I can only go up and down with mouse wheel. There's no way to go for the arrow keys? No. I don't know how to go to shift. That's fine. I mean, that isn't horrible or anything. Spread. What if I change spread to 0? Oh, that's what I need right there. Maybe just the tiniest tad, a little bit. Like 0.1 or 0.2. Okay. Yes. So, particles. So, here's the annoying part. If I duplicate now, then if I make a change to 1, then I'll need to go back and apply it to both. But this will only be for the Tomcat, because I think most of the other jets will only have one afterburner exhausty thing. So particles. I think I'm just going to leave it alone now. Translation. What? Local. This is where I get confused. 0, 0, 0. So Z needs to be 2? No. -2.5. Was looks so tall. Yeah, it needs to be right there on the end. Just gonna make it -2.5. And next will be my -0.1? No. 1.8. That's good. So this one will be minus point. I don't know why it's backwards, but it just is. Well, that's 0.8. Oh yeah, minus 0.8 to minus 2.5. Okay, that looks good. That looks so cool. Oh no, I can see the little side thingies. It does kind of look like it's on fire though. I'm not crazy about that. Then kind of the fire goes up into the ship. So yeah, you can kind of see. So this is why I said I should have just took this and went like this. Or I can go on this layer and fill with black. Edit. Fill with foreground. Edit. Fill with foreground. File. Save. File. Export to flame.png. Now I would be amazed if it updated it right there. It should have updated it now. I still think this title screen is a little bit dark for some reason. Haven't figured that one out. Okay, so now it got rid of those little artifacts there. So now I need some smoke for the missiles. So that should be pretty easy to add now that I know how to do flame for the jet. Oh, and I want to do the explosions now that I know how to do the Colada model deal. File, new, 128, 128. I could actually do a smaller one probably. But I'm just going to stick with this size since I know it works. Edit. Layer. Transparency. Add alpha. So I think I'm just going to take the wall height and go with my airbrush and Actually, I didn't expect it to be a little bit better than that. Maybe increase the size. There we go. But that's going to give this appearance. That might be okay. Kind of need to round this out on the ends. So it's just going to look like a little smoky trail. Nothing too much or anything. Export as. This is going to be smoke. I could have like parts of the wing blow off too whenever you get hit. That would be cool. As a part or as a mesh with my self-fracture. There's my smoke. Did I save it? Save as smoke. Okay, so there's my jet. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. That's a lot better than I expected it would look. So we can go ahead and close the jet. Open. Now we're going to do the missile. Now, I'm surprised that I didn't actually change the jet on the fighter select. But I guess I just did the model there. I didn't actually do the instance of the player, which is pretty smart because I don't need controls on the model on the missile on the fighter select. So going to add a new node. Going to add particles. Okay. So we're going to do the exact same thing. Add a material. New fixed material. Going to edit this. This all looks good, but I gotta remember that one setting. I gotta remember to set no shading, and then No shading. Do I have to use alpha? Yeah, use alpha. There we go. And use alpha. So if there's another setting. Oh well. I don't think I needed to do, like, look up. Or, that's my material. So you actually just got to click off and click on to get out of material edit. And go back into your particle system. Mission extents. 0, 2, 0. That's interesting. So it's going downward. I don't understand these particle systems and the coordinate systems of the particle systems. It's more like I need to do 1. Is it still going down? It's still going down. I don't understand that. So here it should not... It shouldn't do anything, actually. But it still go... Oh, because it has gravity. 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 There's gravity normal. Come on. Lifetime. Need to shorten this up. 0.1 or something. Ooh. Oh, there's my gravity. Yeah, get rid of that. Lifetime. Let's make it 0.5. And I need to pull it back. Oh, I think I'm going to have to skinny this one up a lot. Because it's way bigger than the missile itself. There we go. File, save, file, export. So I want it to go outward Z. There we go. I need to pull it back more. So it like it emits both ways. I don't know if I like that. I think I just want to keep this. Oh man. I don't think I need 64 of them either. I think 8 would be great. I don't need a million of those guys. Yeah, it's emitting the wrong way. Don't need it. Let's put this at 0.2. Yeah, it's emitting from the center and going out both ways. Mission-based velocity. Okay, let's go Z in the -2 direction. Oh, that's what that's exactly what I need. Oh, it's looking good. That is looking good. Now, for some reason, I don't need to do the. I did alpha already, I guess. I don't want to cast a shadow. Don't want to receive shadows. Want a billboard. Billboard Y. Okay, I think this one may be good to go. So yeah, when you press play, I think it saves everything. Oh, look at those missiles. So cool. Even though there is that little bit of flickery behind the missile. I don't know about that. It's kind of weird. Oh my goodness, that's so freaking cool. That's so cool. Yeah, sometimes I get a little bit of flicker in there. I need to fix the GUI layout. That looks so cool. Could be a little bit lighter, I suppose. A little bit more transparent. I think that's what it needs. I need a little bit of transparency in here. Turn down the opacity to about half. File, save, file, export to smoke. It really isn't smoke, I guess. I guess it's, I don't know what it is. That's interesting. So, okay, so now the white isn't as predominant. That's so freaking cool. You anticipate on like having actual fighter jets that you fight against. It's interesting how it starts out dark and it gets a little bit lighter. I wish the HUD elements would expand. With the window size. But I'm assuming you got to write a bunch of code or something to handle that, which I don't feel like doing. There's a missile HUD. It would be nice if it automatically handled the resizing for you. The window. View. Scene. Display. See, here you can set it here width and height. Oh, stretch mode. That's what I need. Stretch aspect. 2D. Oh, okay. So you can either stretch the viewport or stretch the 2D overlay? Maybe? I don't know. Oh, there it goes. It worked. It's working. So yeah, all I need to do is set that one setting. The afterburners really don't look that natural when going left and right. Now I got these bars on the side. But going back here, it looks all fine. I need to fix up these enemies. So I could have like one type of enemy that just comes straight down in a line. Then I could have the other ones go side to side. Which will actually kind of look like a sine wave, but probably really isn't. Probably more like a triangle wave. So scene, open scene, enemy 1. So this one's just going to come straight toward you. So I need to edit the logic. So do move. Velocity. Okay, so I'm just going to have it, instead of going 2, have it go -2. And I don't want to do the back and forth. I could use this for something later, but I don't want to do it now. I do want to have a random location, though. Okay. Oh no! Root roll game. 147. Why? World game. Why does it think there's more than one world game? I need to check if it exists. This is one thing I hate about this, is having to... Why is there an A right there? Is having to do this nonsense. Like, if node exists, root world game. Then, do I have to do a, yeah, you gotta do your colon, then do this. Otherwise, you don't want to do that. But you would think root world game would have existed by that time. Wait. Oh, has node. Has node. I still think there's something wrong with this. Because at that point, after everything's been instantiated, that world game should exist. Oh, maybe not. It's bizarre. Yeah, those guys need to start trucking a little bit faster than that. Also, I want to add guns to this. Right now I only have missiles. Yeah, these guys need to truck a little bit faster. Where is he at? Enemy 1. I just edited that. I'm in player script. Var speed gets 5? So I want to do minus speed. And enemies. So I don't want to do this. I need a way to define enemy layout, and I haven't figured out how I want to do that yet. If it's like going to be in a text file, or just specifying, there's got to be a way that I can draw out a level. set out all the enemies in a level. And I don't know if I'm going to do that in a text file or just specify it in the code or what. I think I want to have like a hash of enemies and their time. So whenever their time hits, then spawn that enemy. Do I have process? Is that process true? Process. So here's this checking if you're 1, but I think I want to take this out completely. This is checking to see if you defeated all the enemies, but I could lay all the enemies at the beginning, but I don't think I want to do that. I think I want to have a condition. I think I have like a level manager, and like if you get, really I need to have like the aircraft carrier wherever you're going to land. So if you get to the landing point, then you win. If you collide with the landing point, or if your Z position is greater than the landing point's position, then you win. I could do my little ship or something. Now, did I have a level manager? Okay. But it's the same concept, though. Game manager. Yeah, okay. So here's enemies. I'm going to take all this out. I'm just not sure if I want to do it by... Because the player never really does move. You're always... 0, 0 is always in the center. So it's almost like you got to do this by time. So the layout of all the enemies needs to be done by like a time code. Although you could have like... Where you have shooters and there's like a pause while you fight a boss or a mini boss. And after that, then you can continue. But I could just have the boss at the end. Then you beat the boss and then you win. But I do think I want to var time elapsed gets 0. It's a process. Time elapsed, add and assign delta. If time elapsed is greater than or equal to 60, then has one gets true. So here we're assuming that this node exists. Actually, I could use that other timer text. This could actually be pretty darn beneficial here. Ah, crud. I do want to spawn enemies, though. I want the enemies to spawn the enemies. I don't know what has one is doing for me here, if anything. got to be very careful how I detect whether I need to spawn enemies or not. Enemy. I don't know how to do an array in Python or a hash. I think I did one earlier. Do another var. Time elapsed. Get 0. Time elapsed. Add and assign delta. So I think I want to do... I could do a countdown. I think I really need to do an array. Array of spawn times. That's what I really need to do. But for now, I can just do var spawn count. I'll leave that for another night. It's 5. Spawn countdown, subtract and assign delta. If spawn countdown is less than or equal to 0, then we want to spawn enemies. Oh, I need to grab these 2. And then I need these. I should have like a make enemy function here. I'll leave that to clean up later. And then at the end of this, we want to do spawn countdown gets. Was it random? Random range, randf. Oh man, how do I get a random number? Oh boy. Go dot random. I don't need a truly random number. I just need somewhat of a random number. Why isn't there... The documentation for this Godot engine is sort of lacking. It's like you just need to know a simple thing like generating a random number. And it doesn't help that there's a book called Godot, so you get a bunch of book references in your search results. Oh, man. Random. I just need a random number. It's already 4 a.m. Oh my goodness. Random number. I don't need a truly random number. But maybe this will point me in the right direction. Rand-I. Okay, maybe I just do a randf. Like that. But what does this give me See, it would be nice if there was good documentation that tells me what randf actually returns. Is it 1 to 0 to 1 or 1 to a million or? So if it's 0 to 1, then I can multiply that by whatever range that I want. Okay, 0 to 1. 0 to 1. So give me between 5 seconds and let's say 8 seconds. So randf times 3. So it should spawn an enemy between 5 and 8 seconds every time. Oh man. Okay, I can handle this. I can handle this. I do want some random position on this too. So this is going to be minus... That's the X. Z needs to be 10. So I want between negative 10 and positive 10. So it's going to be negative 10 plus randf times 20. That should give me between negative 10 and positive 10. It's not spawning anything. There he is. So I don't get one at first. And he still doesn't spawn. I kind of wish I knew what the dimensions were. And I'm thinking about setting... I don't know. Do I want to have one spawn right off the bat? Or I could have like a ready whoop-de-doo. Yeah, I could have it like, say, ready or something. Before any enemies attack you. Just so the player has a chance to move around. Figure out the controls before we start throwing enemies. This would be kind of a neat enemy that I have right there, but they just need to spawn, then move to the spot. Give them a target position. Yeah, I think we need a lot more enemies. I could have like the timer be the distance or something. This is kind of like that Chromium BSD game that I used to play a long time ago. And in that game, if you let an enemy pass you, then that's like you lost a life. I could change that timer to be distance. So yeah, I win, but it's still spawning enemies. I wanna cheat. So I need to change this to a label. Change type. I learned rich text is not good to use. You'd want to use a label. Rich text is really funky. I want to change the font as well. Font. Menu font? Yeah, give me a menu font. Why can't I see it here? I should be able to see it. Like this one. Default font, menu font. Font color. Why can't I see the... Oh, I don't have a text defined. So, distance... Question. So in the code, I'll change this to distance. Oh, that's interesting. So I add 1 on timer timeout. Okay. -60 I count. I didn't know I could do a stir like that and have a int over here. So if you just get past all the enemies... Oh man. Get rid of that. Rich text. Nonsense. That messes everything up if you use rich text. It's like you can't center anything, and you might be able to do multi-lines there. Oh man. They'll just do text, self.text. Gets. They'll do it like that. Okay, shut up. Pretty sure I can dynamically set the text of a label. There we go. Oh no! I can't shoot. Why can't I shoot? I'm dead already. Shows red. Something went wrong. Output. That was bizarre. Self dot text. Set text. Set text. Distance. No. Stir distance. 60 I count. But then I need to like clamp that value. Var distance value gets clamp 60 I count 0 60 distance value. So I don't know if that just concatenates all those together or what. 1 2 1 2, those are balanced. Okay. Okay, everything's working again. That's good. Oh, but it isn't updating my distance display. Why aren't you working? On timer timeout. Wasn't it working before? Self add text timer. Self dot set text hello. Okay. I need to just... Okay, so it says hello. I need to just play this one scene and not the whole thing every time. On timer timeout. Self. Set text. Distance value. Why is that not working? Okay, what if I get rid of distance value? Still says hello. It almost seems like that once I changed it to a label, the event became unattached. Signals. Okay, timer. Timeout. Okay, I think this is what went wrong. Connect. Timer text. Connect. So it should say distance now. Oh, okay, at least it did something. Non-existent function. Okay, clear. No, I don't need that. So now I can put back in distance value. Oh, I got hit. So I want to have the other guys do kind of the same thing, but they go left and right. I'll hit somebody off screen. But the guys keep spawning. That's so cool. I just don't like how it goes back into the ship sometimes. So maybe I need to put it in under the ship or something. Okay, I definitely don't need to spawn more enemies after you win. If not has one. So I need to pull. So really what I need to do. Game manager. Game manager node. Get node. Root game world. Or is it world game? World game. Game manager. If not game manager node. Can I just reach in like that? And he doesn't have a has one. There is a game. Oh, I thought there was a UN in here. Where's UN? What controls the display of the win text? Oh, that's enemies. Crap. Crap. Which is what I was looking at. Okay, this is getting confusing. So I call you win and enemies? No. Now there's some place where I call you win. Game manager. Or maybe I just have game over, quit game. Okay. Enemies. But somewhere it actually changes whether the you win text is enabled. That's not in enemies. Game manager. I wish it had a search on all scripts. You win. Text you win. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. No, that's the one I just changed. Or did I just... This is confusing. Did I delete what was there before? I must have had code right here that checked to see if all the enemies were destroyed. Set level complete. So here I'm going to call set level complete. Is this enemies? No, this is game man. See, this is confusing to try to keep track of where you're at. Var has one gets false. If not has one and has one gets true. So enemies, which spawn the enemies, it needs to reach in the game manager. And if not, game manager node has one, then spawn enemies. So I need to turn this down to like 15. I really need a distance very far. Distance to complete. Then I can keep incrementing this to make it further and further. Gets 15. Distance to complete. And then I also need this on this one over here. I'm not going to do that right now though. This is starting to come together a little bit. Enemies 45. Game manager. Oh, I need var. So after 15 seconds, it should say you win. And stop spawning new enemies. Oh no! I don't know if I need to slow down these enemies or speed them up a little. Okay, so it does say you win after 15 seconds. And I'm not seeing any new enemies, which is good. Yay. So now I just need to fix this timer here. Which I'm going to get rid of the timer, actually. Is there any way I can just turn that off? I want to get rid of all this. I can keep it in here for now. So, get rid of that. So I want to set process to true. Then I want to add a func process delta. So on every frame, I want to do get node root world. I always forget how. So I can't name it just world because I have world on other scenes, and if you don't name it something different, then you can't access it by get node. It makes things much more complex. So I got to call it world game because this is the world in the game scene, just to make sure it's different than any other world node in any other scene. So world game. So I'm in the text, timer text, and I'm going to reach into game manager. And I'm not checking to see if it exists. Maybe I should. If has node. And I need to figure out a better way to do this because duplicating strings is not good. Now I could declare var node path. That's probably the best way to do it. Var node path gets this. So has node path, then get node. This is one of those things you do so often. Seems like there should be like a shortcut for this. Maybe I should have like one global, but then I got if I had a node for getting the node path, then I'd have to actually get I'd have to do a check to see if that node path node exists. It's very confusing. So get node path. So I should have the var game manager node gets the node path for the game manager. That makes sense. I wish I could just put it like has node and assign it here as well, but I'll look into that later. So I want to set distance value. Now I can like make it neat by calling it kilometers or something like that, or miles. I don't know, like in real Navy jet engines, jet fighters, if they use kilometers or miles. Maybe everything they use is, or if they use nautical miles or something like that. I'll just call it kilometers just because that's the nice universal way to do things. I don't know if that's a capital KM or a capital K and a little m. I'm not sure. Or maybe it's little k and a little m. Lowercase k and a lowercase m. So I think I can do game manager node dot, then grab that value that I defined. Distance to complete. Distance to complete minus, ooh, it's red. Doesn't like red. Now, really, I should probably just have a method in Game Manager, a function that returns the distance. So I don't have to do this calculation every time. everywhere that I use it. Game manager node dot time elapsed. That way I'm not exposing as much stuff as I need to. If I can't access these, if it's out of scope, then I may have to define a method called getDistance, which maybe that's what I should do anyway. So I'm going to clamp that down. Really, I'm only doing the clamp to keep it from going below 0 without having to write 4 or 5 lines of code. So that should work here. See what it does. No! Oh, I need to pass on this. I don't know if there's anything that pass really does aside from keeping the compiler happy for an empty function. No! Oh, time elapsed. See, this is another good reason to have this in its own function. Oh, look at that! Nice. I just need to have it called floor. That is very cool. That is very cool. Okay, I'm fixing this now. I am fixing this. This is too messy. Comment this out. Var distance value gets game manager node dot get distance. So in my game manager, I'm gonna have, I think I can do a return. I'm pretty sure. I'm not a Python expert or anything, but it seems like it has everything that most scripting language, modern scripting languages have. Get distance. Go ahead and I'm going to copy this code here. Since it makes me have to think less. Var distance value. Go ahead and assign it 0. Just in case it says, oh, it needs to be set to a default value. So now I can get rid of game manager node dot minus time elapsed 0 distance to complete. Return distance value. Oh, but one thing I do want to do, I want to multiply this by 1,000. Then I want to take the floor. Is that a valid thing in Python or whatever this language is? The other thing I might need to do is use a monospace font for this, otherwise it's going to be herky-jerky. Yeah. Or just take out the KM. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do here. I could just leave it like that for now, I guess. Okay, I want to fix enemy 2, which will be similar to enemy 1. Count. Let's just go for left and right. Okay. Enemy 2. So I got to be careful. If the enemy 2 spawns on the side and it goes left and right, he could potentially go off the screen. It is nice. This is actually starting to feel like a real game, believe it or not. So he's going to go negative speed. Actually, he's going to go negative 5. So I'm going to spawn this guy. So I'm going to change this to spawn countdown 1. Spawn countdown 2. So the first one of these guys is going to come out. Let's make him come out at 10. I can play around with those values later. If it's too easy or too hard. So spawn countdown 1. Spawn. Now I could use like one of those signal things, like with the timer, but I think I'm just going to do it this way. I'd rather just do my own subtracting of deltas and everything instead of having to rely on timers. So if spawn countdown 1 is less than 0. Now if spawn countdown 2 is less than 0. And I need to. And I don't know if there's a better place to put these little preload thingies. So I need to make this spawn countdown 1, this spawn countdown 2. Packed enemy 2 is enemy 2. And I don't know what the difference between a TSCN and an SCN is. I guess a TSCN may be like the prefab thingy, where it doesn't have like all the lighting and cameras and all. That's just my guess. I don't know if that's true or not. So I'm going to add enemy var origin. So I'm going to have this go from -10 to 10 like the other one. Hopefully, if I spawn it at 10 and it goes over 5, I'm assuming, I think the left bound or the right bound is like 18. So I think I still have a little bit of wiggle room there. I'd also, like later on, want to have like multiple of these guys coming out at the same time. I think that would be sort of neat too. And I want to make these guys. Oh, I'll keep these guys at 5, and I'm gonna speed up enemy 1. And I should have these defined in a different or in a variable as well, like spawn reset time or something. I'll just have them here for now. So I'm gonna make this 2. See how it goes. Yeah, time just flies like crazy when doing game development. It's like I've already spent 1 hour and 45 minutes and done a lot of cool stuff. Whoa, look at that. Now, okay, those guys are coming out faster now. It's just oh, whoa. Oh no, I'm already dying. I win, yay! Okay. I need to fix some stuff with enemy 2. So I think I'm just doing a multiplying velocity by -1, which really shouldn't be doing that. I think one thing I like about this is I don't have to define a new vector 3. If I just want to change like one of the 3 translation values, X, Y, or Z, I think I can do velocity X gets velocity X minus X, velocity X times -1. See if that works. Oh, they're working. They're working. I can't believe it. They also need to blow up after they went off screen. That's a problem. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. This is so good. I can go ahead and increase the level time back up to 60. Then, like on each level, I could speed them up a little bit more. Till it just gets too hard. I'm all about like procedural generation or making new levels just by making the enemies faster. That's the old old school way of level generation. So game manager. So I'm going to change. This is complete. I think I want to have a level variable var level num gets 1. So when I go into the has 1 state, I want to have it where if I click it, then increase the level number, then start all. But I'll save that. I'll save that for another day. But I'll go ahead and put the level number in there right now. Just to remind me that I'm going to do levels like that. Okay, what else? The game does feel a little bit unbalanced right now because I need to get rid of these guys too. Oh no, just barely missed it. I need to have a score too. Golly. That's almost too hard. Definitely going to let some guys fly past. I need guns. That's what I need. Because the game would be balanced if I could actually shoot some of these guys with guns. That was weird. Okay, let's get rid of these initial guys. My enemies. Yeah, I want to have a little bit of a buffer there. After you hit distance 0. Okay, maybe just you get to distance 0. If there's still enemies on the screen, then oh well. Maybe you should become invincible after you hit distance 0. Don't know how I want to do that. Actually, there should be like a boss when you get to distance 0. Then I should have like a little kills value. I don't know what they call that in fighter pilot speak. Enemy shot down or something. What do you call those? Fighters shot down. Pilot? Became ace. How do you become ace? Is this for a game or is this real? I just typed in fighter pilot and aviators became A's. Achievements 15 enemy aircraft. Wow, that's a lot. Is this for United States or for everybody or? Wow. 5 or more aerial victories. I never knew that. That's like a Jeopardy question, is how many aerial victories do you need to become an ace? Flying ace. This is very interesting stuff. Who is this? From Iran, wow. And an F-14 Tomcat. Wow. Vietnam War flying aces. Wow. North Vietnam, now 9. They were really shooting them down back then. Yeah, I never knew the North Vietnamese had that many in their Air Force. So I still don't know what I should call this. Should I just call it kills? I think I'll just call it kills. Game manager. VAR kills. Kill num gets 0. I'll do it like the distance. I'll do a function. Func get kills. Return kills. Although I could just grab that value. I don't know. Is it even worth creating a function for one value that I'm really not doing anything with? I don't know. Return kill num. Okay. Func increment kills. Kills. No, kill num and assign 1. So I think it is good to have this. Just so I have one place for adding kills. So this is the confusing part here that I always get messed up on. Does the missile collide with the enemy, or does the enemy collide with the missile, or do both happen? Or is it dependent on which one's moving? Like if the missile's moving and the enemy is still, does only the missile get the collision event? It's like, who's got the collision event? So apparently this one is not right. Yeah, so here's the do destroy. So I think this is what I need to, or I need to put the code. So var game manager node gets, and this is where I need to do my check. I need to get in the habit of doing this. Node path. Even though it's kind of annoying. Node path gets root world game manager. If node node. Was it node exist? No, it's not node exist. It's has node. Node path. Var game manager node. Get node. Node path. So annoying having to do all that. So game manager node dot increment kills. Is it increment kills? Yeah, it turned blue, so it's gotta be. While I'm already here, I'm gonna fix this other one. Node path gets blah. If has node. Node path. Then SP node path. Okay. I know there's a lot of other places in my game where I need to fix that, but I really don't want to deal with it right now. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is have a place in the interface. Do I want to duplicate timer text? I think I just want to add a new node, which is going to be a label. And this is going to be text kills. Then do one L or two. Text kills. So I'm going to do kills. And I'm going to set the font. Maybe I should make it like red or something different. That would be cool. Load menu font. Move it. Why can't I move it? Why can't I move this? Cannot grab this or anything. That's pretty bizarre. Position 0, 0. 10. Okay. Can I grab it now? Nope. Why can't I move this? Oh, maybe I gotta click the arrow. There we go. Go ahead and stretch this out. Wow, that's like way too big for that one. Kills question? So I'm gonna add a script to this. Even though I gotta name it something different. Kill. Call it text kills. Okay. I kind of like the Game Maker method of doing scripts where you just attach a script. There's only one script for an object. Why do you need to give it a unique name? That really doesn't make much sense to me. So I'm going to do set process true. This is another one of those things. It's like, do I really need to call that every time? Can't you just from the existence of the underscore process delta, shouldn't you know whether to call this or not? But yeah, if you don't do set process true, then this isn't getting called every frame. So it's definitely important to have this. What am I doing? Okay, so now I need to do my goofy. Since this is just one thing, I'm just going to put the code right here. Otherwise, in any other case, I'd probably make it its own function. Maybe I should do that. I don't know. Call it update text. Why not? I don't need to pick up any bad habits. So I don't need delta just because I don't care how much time has gone by. because I'm going to go ahead and update this every frame. So I'm going to do my var node path because I'm learning good habits now. Root world game. Boy, I always forget what that's called. Yeah, I know it's either world game or game world. I got to remember, I used to call it world, then I had to add game. Otherwise, it collided with names from other things. World game manager. Yeah, and the only reason I have to add this is just because in the way these things are instantiated, if it's getting and I don't know if this is possible or not, but if it's getting an update call or a process call before all the other objects are instantiated or created, then you could have a problem right here, because that node may not exist before the first call of process. I don't know if that's true or not, if that can happen, but I guess it seems like I've seen errors happen before because of that. So if has node path, then var game manager node gets get node path. So now we actually want to do self.set. I think it's set text like that. What if I put set text? So it's going to turn blue no matter what. It's interesting that it doesn't give me any hints on this one. Set. Seems like a lot of the other ones it would give me hints on what I could use. Even though I already have extends label. Maybe it's because this hasn't been saved yet. File, save. Self.set. It's not giving me anything on this one. So I'm going to do kills. I can do my stir around this. So I did learn that stir will concatenate, delimited values. This is going to be game manager node. Then I'm going to use my nifty get kills method that I created. So let's run this, see how it goes. Oh no, maybe that's why. Var node path. Equals. That's probably why I wasn't getting the IntelliSense there, because I made a mistake up there. Kill 0. Enemy. Oh no! Increment kills. Game manager node. See, this is the bad thing about these compile at runtime errors. If this was if it would have detected that at compile time, then I would have known to fix it before the thing has started. Okay, so I called it. I don't like using underscore notation. But yeah, it's bad when things like that, you find it out at runtime. That just means more things you have to test. I'd rather know at compile time. Hey, 1 kill. Look at that. 2 kills. So now we've actually got to a point where... Oh, I didn't get kills from the other guy. Where people can actually get different scores. So there's actually some level of competitiveness in this now. 6. Oh man. Yeah, so the enemy 2 is not registering kills. This is like one place where if you did have like an object-oriented hierarchy where everything subclassed an enemy class, you could just have one increment function. But since we don't, then we got to do this copy and paste nonsense. I could just copy all this. So I gotta have a do destroy method for every enemy. So the explosion is going to be the same. Wow, it's already 2 hours into this. $5 a.m. in the morning. I need to get to bed, but yeah, my sleep schedule is so messed up from having time off. May do like a quick little video of this and then call it a night. Post it to YouTube or wherever. Seems like I'm not getting any enemies off on this side. At least not the yellow cylindrical enemies. Oh, maybe he is on that side. See, now I'm losing guys now. The only bad thing about this, it may not actually be possible to defeat all of the enemies. So then it kind of feels unfair. There's like, okay, you just gotta let some enemies pass. Oh man, completely missed those guys. So I've reached distance 0 kilometers. I think I'd need to in my enemy script, I can grab a hold. So I really need to determine how long it takes an enemy to get from the top to the bottom, then create a buffer there. But I think I'm just going to wing it for now. Since I do have, like, already do have a hold of the game manager right there. And game manager node dot get distance. Why can't I get distance? Isn't that in game manager? Yeah, game manager get distance. Enemies. Get distance is greater than, let's say, 10,000, which is 10 seconds. So I'm going to assume that all enemies have cleared in 10 seconds. That's a little bit... I don't know if that's too much of a delay for the first enemy or not. Seems like there's a little bit too much time there at the beginning for the first enemy to pop out. That's a lot of flames coming out. I really wanted to have it where it would only really shoot a lot of flames if you're going forward. Boy, I might actually die on this one. Okay, so 10 should have no more enemies spawn now. Good. So we kind of got that little bit of clearance there at the end. Got 16 kills. I kind of wish I hadn't already posted this on itch.io. Kind of weird that those two guys spawn like almost the same position. I would have really enjoyed playing this game as a kid. was always into the Top Gun and everything. UN Squadron. Ooh, I got 2 with 1. I didn't know you could do that. Wow. So it seems like you kind of level out at 17 kills. Unless you're lucky and get a 2 in 1 shot like I just did. I also want to mix up the music. I like the second part of the song better than the first part. So I think I'm going to go into GarageBand and flip those out or flip out the instruments. It is good that the song plays longer than the actual level. So yeah, it's kind of actually feeling like a real game now. Just need like a boss, guns, different fighters and missile types. Pretty cool. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it a night now. I did a lot tonight. I like the particles. Oh man, yeah. Yeah, go ahead and save that. I like the particle effects. Those turned out a lot better than I expected. Save all scenes. I think that saves everything. I don't think I have to actually go file, save all scripts. I don't think. Close the Godot editor. Go ahead and... So yeah, I wrote a nifty script. Not sure what I want to do for. Oh, I didn't export. Yeah, so that's. I guess it is kind of like Unity. You actually have to export your executables. Godot. Although this won't affect when I'm checking in because builds are automatically ignored based on my .hgignore script or file, configuration file. But yeah, let me just go ahead and do this first. Scene. That's where it pulls this one up. Oh man, I hope I didn't lose anything. Oh, maybe it pulls this one up because it's set as the startup. We'll see. Oh man, I know I saved everything. Oh wait, who is calling this? Enemies GD has one. Oh no! So this is one of those weird instances where this hasn't been instantiated yet. See, this is that case that I was talking about earlier, why it's important. So this is calling process. It's calling the first process before all the objects are actually instantiated or actually have been populated in this hierarchy tree over here. Or at least it can't grab onto this. So that's why it's important to do this, even though it's very annoying. Var node path gets this. So this is node path. Now I gotta have like another level. Oh boy. This is one of those things you don't run into until you like actually do a fresh run of the game. So it's better to go ahead and fix it now. So this might be a case where it's better just to create a new function, spawn enemy function. I think it is. I definitely think this is a spawn enemy place. So, okay. Because I don't want to redo all... The one annoying thing about Python is like you got to keep all the tabs straight, and I don't want to redo all those tabs. So I'm going to say func I don't want to call it spawn enemy. It's more like check spawn enemy. Update enemies. Okay, update enemies. Node path. So game manager node. Node path. Oh no. Wait. Ah. Okay, so now I have the problem that I'm checking things in two different spots. I could actually pass the game manager node as a parameter. That would be interesting. I could go game manager node like that. That's interesting. So if has node path, then this is interesting. So I don't even need to declare it there. And then we're going to update enemies get node path. I think that will work. Because we know it exists because it has node. Then we just use it down here. Oh no. Oh, wait. There we go. Stop. All this because I just need to rebuild it. So it took 6 seconds for the first enemy to come out, which I think is within the acceptable range of how long people are willing to wait. Plus, if somebody's playing this for the very first time, then they're a little bit more willing to wait longer, since it's something new. Oh no, I missed. Yeah, I need to have a misses value. Yeah, I think 17 is about it. Unless you get lucky. I may want to make that like 5 kilometers. I don't know. It's working, so I'm going to leave it the way it is. Save all scenes, save all scripts, export to Windows, export. I'm going to go up to build, Sky Combat Windows, Sky Combat, okay, okay. Exporting. So yeah, I think we're like past the point of this actually being legitimately called a game. I don't know if a game has to have multiple levels, but we do have a win state. We do have a lose state, which I really haven't demonstrated, but I think to be called a game, you have to have a lose state where you can actually lose without like either doing nothing or being extremely stupid. So here you actually have to be a little bit stupid to... I don't know if you'll actually die if you just stay straight in the center. Like here I'll die. So there's the game over state. But I think it'll actually say you win. That's a problem. But not a problem I'm going to fix tonight. But yeah, watch it. When I get down to 0, it will say you win. It's kind of, well, you don't actually see, at least the game over is like superimposed over the you win. But yeah, whenever I get game over, it should like go into a state where it doesn't spawn any more enemies. Maybe stop the background, I don't know. I probably should just like stop the enemy spawns and wait for the user to click or something. Okay, I'm not solving that problem tonight, but I should like put it on a list of things to fix. Okay, so going to go ahead and check this bad boy in. Push. Added distance value changed win state to be based on distance. What else? And I do all this on one line because if you look at this in Bitbucket, it will only show the first line. So that's why I'm doing all. I always do these comments on one line. What else did I do? Oh yeah, particle effects. Particle effects added for like afterburners and missile. I don't know if it's smoke or what. Smoke. I'll just call it smoke. Did I do anything else like major? I did a lot of like little behind the scenes tuning, changing functions and things like that. But an overall, as far as overall like gameplay functionality, I don't think I did any more than that. If I did, then oh well. It's just not a part of the commit notes. Okay, commit and push. Wow. Almost 2.5 hours. It doesn't feel like I spent that long. But I do appreciate everyone who's watching. It looks like there's 2 people watching right now. I don't know if that includes myself. I have my little live dashboard going on, and I don't know if like having the dashboard up, if that counts as a viewer. I think it does, because like right whenever I start streaming, usually it always says at least 1 watching, and I know nobody's really jumping in that quickly. So, yeah, thanks to everyone who watches the live stream, and I know a lot of people aren't, like, up as late as me till 5 in the morning. So, I think a lot of people just watch the archived stream on YouTube. So, yeah, appreciate everybody watching. And, oh, yeah, the other thing, the whole point in doing all that, I was going to show off my little nifty script. So, Itch.io has that new Butler thing that helps you, and I've shown this off before, but got a little Butler push, which I've been copying this script and just modifying it for my needs. Okay, see if do I have anything bad on? No. I kind of wish Notepad++ would always open to a clear screen, because I don't ever know if I've copied passwords over there or not. But yeah, you got to do this call. So this basically executes this Butler bat script, but you got to do this call before. If you got a batch script in Windows and you call another batch script, you got to use call. Otherwise, when the other batch script ends, then everything ends. So to be able to come back and call subsequent batch scripts, you got to use this call, which I never knew that. I think I remember seeing call from years ago, like doing QBasic stuff, but I never really knew what it was for. So that's what it's for, is if you're calling multiple other batch scripts to continue processing those batch scripts. Then I have this pause directed to null. That's just to not close the DOS window or whatever they call it, command prompt, after this finishes. Otherwise, if there's a problem, then you won't see the error messages. So this basically does the Butler script, and then it's going to push to Sky Combat Windows. Then it's going to use project name, which is my Gotek Grad account, and push to Sky Combat for Windows. So it's going to push everything in the build Sky Combat Windows, which is kind of nice. That way I don't have to zip up everything every time anymore, which got to be really old. Not a difficult process, but you get sick of doing it all the time. So yeah, just double click that. It's going to upload it up, 28 megabytes, reuse 98. So it actually figures out how much of it was old. So it only pushes up the new stuff. So there it is. We got the new build pushed to itch.io, which is really nice. So if you're using the itch.io app and you've already downloaded this game, then it should automatically pull the latest stuff. Now it does take a little while, I think, to put the new version, for the new version to get pushed up. Your itch is up to date. So if we go to over here, go to my dashboard. So it should give me a notification when it's pushed. Thanks for everyone who's downloading and purchasing and viewing my games. Oh, got quite a... Wow. 3 downloads of Sky Combat today. I don't think I downloaded it. I know sometimes it counts my own downloads. That's like a lot, 3 for one game. Yeah, back when itch.io was new, then you could get a ton of views. But that was back when you'd actually build Unity games with the Unity web player, which was Flash and a lot more stable than the current Unity WebGL build. So usually now I just make EXEs or whatever the native platform is, just because the WebGL is so flaky. Okay, there's my one right there. So Sky Combat is now live. So I don't know if this already did it while I wasn't looking, but if I had Sky Combat installed, it should have already updated it. Let's see if it did, if it already updated. Okay, that's the same, that's the same. Now if I have rocket boosters, no rocket boosters. So I don't know if I have to restart this. Oh, here's downloads. Oh, it's already found. Oh no, that's the same one that I had. Okay, close itch. Open itch back up. Now I do want to make like a new devlog, which is kind of a nice new feature they got on there. I'll come back to this a little bit later. Finish downloads. Launch. Running. Yeah, maybe people are actually watching the... wow, I can't even shoot now. What's going on here? This is like a really old build. No, this can't be an old build because I had it where... I know I got the shooting working before I added the icons down here. So something's messed up here. Why does it keep showing 1 there? Library. Something was seriously hosed up there. Yeah, there it is. I don't know why it wasn't letting me continue shooting. Not sure why it hasn't started downloading, unless like it's keeping itch.io open in the background, maybe. Oh, I gotta quit. Okay, so now I'm going to restart itch.io. Yeah, it seems like once things are pushed up, seems like it's usually pretty fast to update. See if it kicks. No, your itch is up to date. See, it looks like it tried to download something there. Did it download? The new version? Hey, look at that. It's already downloaded the new version. I just had to quit itch. So apparently you don't get new updates until you restart itch.io. So yeah, I mean, any itch users out there, I definitely recommend the app. So you always get the latest version. Oh no, I missed him. I got hit too. Yeah, that one guy on Twitter commented on it. So maybe he downloaded the game. Boy. Oh man, no. Oh no! Yeah, I can't wait to add like different types of missiles with different properties. Man, it's really burning some afterburners right there. That's the only thing I don't like is whenever you're going left and right, it doesn't look very natural. That looks very natural there. Well, maybe when you start going forward, those afterburners are a little bit too long. So I could like shorten up the texture for that particle. Okay, so last thing I'm going to do, we got the new build pushed up. We're going to go to Sky Combat. And so this is where I'm keeping the development log. So I can add a new dev log. And I need to update the background too with that fancy pants new little logo that I made. So particles, or no, particle. Like a regular gamer is not going to know what a particle. Well, if they're smart, they'll know what a particle is, but they just think of it as like graphical effects, like smoke and fire effects added, and new enemy patterns. They won't even know what a pattern is. New level layouts. Actually, I should just call it new effects. Updated level layouts. Kill statistics. So here, can I just add a distance value to complete the stage? Change win state to be based on distance. Okay, that's kind of. Missile smoke. Updated enemies now dynamically spawn throughout the game. Enemies now move towards the bottom of the game screen. I don't know if anybody actually reads these, but maybe there's somebody out there and they get a notification. It's like, oh, check out Gotek Grad. He updated Sky Combat. So then maybe they'll see the devlog. It's like, hey, he's added a lot of new stuff. Let's check out the game. So I'm thinking now I should change this from prototype to an actual game. Then I'm going to do a video after this, a little short demo video, which I'll post to Twitter and Facebook and maybe Instagram. Instagram is always a pain because I have to take the video file and then copy it up to Google Drive, then download it on my tablet, then post it to Instagram there, which is a headache. I mean, just let me post things to Instagram from the Instagram app in Windows or through the web. Either would be fine. But okay, I think that's enough for one night. I'll make that video and post it up on Twitter. Thanks everyone for watching.